podcasting yet, where we legitimately don't know if we're podcasting.
Yeah, we were this close. We were this close to not podcasting. Guys, thank you so much for listening and tuning in. Super excited to introduce our guest today. She is one of our good friends and also one of our former colleagues, Miss Hanli Hoefer, television actress, television host, podcast extraordinaire, and of course, an expert woman.
Pew, pew, pew. Hanli Hoefer in the house. Pew, pew, pew. Thank you for hyping me up in order to hype myself up, Alan. Thank you so much for having me, guys. Justin, good to see you.
It's great to see you too. How's Bali?
Ooh.
It's okay. I mean, it's kind of paradise, but it's okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I have guilt. I'm trying to downplay it because Bali has just been really, really nice. And I feel guilty when people ask me how it is. I'm like, oh, it's fine. It's been amazing. And I've been here for 3 weeks and yeah, this is it.
Just take that guilt. Just, gotta shake those haters off.
Hanli and her good friend, Marissa, had me on their podcast, just so we clear. And one of the things they got me to do was to answer questions as a resident dude or as someone who could speak maybe or try to speak for all the men for the questions that women might have. And Justin and I were thinking that Hanli would be a great person to serve that same role on this podcast.
Probably not enough feminine energy on this podcast. That is a safe assessment.
Yeah, so we really need someone to set us straight. Can you mansplain to men, Hanli?
I can do that. As I said at the beginning, I've been a woman my whole life. And for that, I think that gives me quite strong grounds to be the professional woman in the room today. Thank you.
You go get your coffee, girl. Don't worry about it.
It's delivered.
All right, so.
No, I got my coffee. It's here. It's here.
Wow.
Yes, I'm a woman and I'm here to happily mansplain things to you. Is there an equivalent of mansplaining for women?
Womansplain?
Womansplain?
Girlsplain? Or is it just facts?
Sorry?
Or is it just facts?
Oh, we're going to have fun today.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Justin's just about to start sipping his coffee. I am not drinking coffee. I will be a very calm moderator throughout this. No, this is going to be fun. I have a ton of questions, more questions on this in this notebook than we're going to possibly get to. Some of them are completely appropriate and family friendly and could be one that, children could listen to.
So skip those and go to the other ones.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of them are not like that. And Justin, I think you listened to Hanli's podcast, right?
I'm a fan of Hanli's podcast. Yes, I've listened to several full episodes as well as some of the little meaty tidbits that are nice little snacks.
Morsels.
Yeah.
Yes.
Little Hanli and Marissa snacks.
Just
okay,
little Hanli and Marissa.
That sounded weird.
We're off to a great start. This is going really well so far. I have two of my best friends on here. I cannot wait to see where this goes. Okay, we're not going to start with the sex questions. We're going to start with some just kind of, chill, get into it type questions. So here we go. Question number 1, Miss Hanli. Why is it creepy for a guy to flirt with a girl at the gym? Now, I bring this up as the first question because this was a statement that you and Marissa both made on your podcast. I see Justin's taking debate notes. But it was told to me that it is creepy to hit on, but that's more of a harsh term, to flirt with a girl at the gym. Why?
Yes. Okay. I personally don't like it when guys hit on me at the gym because gym time is me time. And that is sacred to me. That's part of me, having a moment. It's like when you're lifting and you're getting into the zone, it's super rewarding and it's super personal. If I have my earphones in, that's what it is. And also, I'm wearing like my tight clothes and I'm really like feeling a bit exposed and stuff. And it's not an invitation for you to come over and talk to me while I'm like, in my mojo and sweaty. It's really just, it doesn't work for me and I don't like it. And also it makes me feel like, that the creepy looks you were giving me had a deeper meaning behind it. And if you were checking me out, it just makes it uncomfortable. Like guys checking girls out, there is a time and place for it. And I just don't feel like obvious checking out at the gym to lead up to being hit on is the place.
Interesting. Let me just go ahead and say that almost all creepy looks have deeper meanings. I think you said that, you know, but just want to let you know they have
unless you just have a creepy face.
Yeah, in which case it's not your fault. Not your fault.
Yeah.
Justin, would you feel uncomfortable if a girl hit on you at the gym?
I mean, not really. I mean, it's never happened. So
Okay.
at least not that I'm aware of. I mean, I also don't really go to gyms much. Actually, the only stint I've had at a gym in the past decade has been when I was at Pure for about 8 months, and I would run into Hanli all the time. Aside from that, I don't go to gyms. So I don't
Did you hit
really,
on her
I'm not really familiar with the gym social structure, how it works. I mean, I personally never, I don't think I would really hit on a girl at a gym. I never have.
Also, here's another reason why hitting on the gym is not great. Because if I say no, I'm gonna have to see you, man.
I know.
I'm gonna have to
that's
around, and that makes it uncomfortable for both of us. Here's the thing: if you see me at the gym, and then you see me outside of the gym, then I think maybe you can be like, "Hey, I see you at the gym," and that's like a fair, natural way to talk to me.
That makes sense.
Or after the workout, you know. But it's personally, just stay away from it. But I do want to kind of revisit a comment that you made where you were like, Justin, would you not like it if a girl hit on you in a gym? I don't know. Like, is there any location that guys would not like it if a girl hit on them?
Oh, this is I could totally go this direction.
I think that varies depending on how physically attractive they find that girl.
Okay,
to be honest, go ahead.
Let's just like make a standard. She's not a 10, but she's not a 0. She's like a 8.
8's good.
8's okay. Well then that's 7.
Yeah, I mean 8. Like my puppy could have just died, and I'm still cool with that. Yeah, it's fine. Let's see where this goes.
So wait. I really do want to know though. Is there a place or a time that you just would rather not get hit on by a girl who's like an 8?
When I'm with another girl.
Fair. Okay.
When I'm with another girl. No, but I feel like this is an actual real, I'm not making this as a joke because this has happened. And I think it happens with both genders, actually, both directions, right? Guys will totally go and flirt with a girl when she's with another guy. But I was like, that one should be obvious to people, and I don't get why it's not.
Yeah, no, that might be the only time that it's unacceptable, really.
Yeah,
I mean, because I'm trying to think, okay, when am I most in the zone? And I definitely don't want any, like I'm either writing or doing some video editing or something, and maybe I'd be at a cafe and totally tuned in, and I'm trying to picture myself just super tuned in, closed off, headphones on, and if I got a tap on the shoulder and I looked up and it was this beautiful woman, I'd be like, yes, please sit down. I can stop what I'm doing. That's
yeah, you would.
This can be done later. What is your name?
Let me just go ahead and say though, before we move to the next question, that I appreciate your answer, Hanli. I totally get the idea of a gym being like a personal, comfortable, safe space and a place where you just can be yourself and not have to worry about how you're coming across or what you're looking like or whatever. And so I get that, and I will not hit on any girls at the gym. How about that?
At the same time, I mean, probably not to the same extent, but as far as depending on the guy, would that change the attitude of wanting to be hit on? And also, I guess, I mean, there's tactful ways to subtly kind of show interest as opposed to a very douchebaggy way to do it as well. So, like, just incredibly good-looking guy, has never said anything before, never given you a creepy look, and just kind of subtly does something, but then kind of leaves you there and doesn't really bother you. Is there a way that maybe it's acceptable? Not that I would have any idea.
I'm in.
Yeah, okay.
Like Jason Momoa, I am in.
Yeah, but what if Jason Momoa just walked up behind you and gave you a smack? That would, I imagine, be unacceptable.
Whoa.
Oh my God. First of all, I would smack him back.
But then what would happen after that? See, it really depends on the guy.
But also, just disclaimer, just never go up to a girl and smack them on their ass.
That seems like a bad call on most accounts. Yeah.
Especially at the gym. Like, there's so much around me that I can take to hurt you. Like, don't do that.
There's a lot of hard things.
Just
plus
throw
a lot of
at you.
like really strong people around who are ready to protect a woman.
Ready to hit on that girl, by hitting another guy that hit on that girl.
Yeah, exactly.
We're on to something. Are we?
Maybe.
Oh, this is great. I have so many questions. We could talk for all night. Okay. Here's the next question, Hanli. Moving on. And, this one is actually kind of changing over the times. I think that at one point, maybe it was expected on a first date for a man to pay for the entire meal or the entire date, right? I don't know if that is an expectation these days or if it's not. And I do think things are changing. And I wanted to ask you what you think about that.
Okay, so my answer, I guess, is a little controversial, and this is my personal opinion. In this day and age, if a woman wants to pay her portion of the bill because that is just what makes her feel comfortable and that's what she prefers, do you. Dutch it. But personally for me, I expect a guy to pay on the first at least 3 dates.
Sure.
I think that's reasonable. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah. Because the amount of effort and time that it took me to get ready to look this good for you.
I like it.
How much time is that, and do you always spend that amount of time?
Great question.
Sorry, say that again?
How much time is that, and do you always spend that amount of time?
Okay, see, if I have the time, it could go up to maybe like an hour 15, and girls know what I'm talking about. Okay, we have a whole system. We get a gorgeous shower, we do our hair, we play some Beyonce in the background, we might have a glass of wine. We're definitely FaceTiming a girlfriend, being like, which outfit should I wear? We've tried on at least 3 of those. It's a process for us to juju ourselves up ready for this date.
Yeah, I mean, Singapore's really expensive though, so I'm thinking maybe you guys could spend at least 2 hours on that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
But
maybe 3.
The guy, we show up like this, so take care of it.
I actually expect to pay for the first couple of dates, just because I want to. But that being said, I do appreciate it when a girl offers. Usually if a girl offers, will never let her pay. Unless she's like, no, I want to pay, and that's a thing for me, in which case, okay, yeah, I want you to feel, empowered.
Again, and I think this also depends on how the date has gone.
That's true.
Sometimes, because I just started kind of doing these dating app things here, and first of all, I'm already tired of it. I'm already over it, man. But not that I've met women that are necessarily not lovely women and people, and not that I don't find them attractive. It's just, I don't know. It's just, there's this process to it that I think I'm not accustomed to. And it's already becoming mundane. I guess I'm so accustomed to just meeting people out randomly. And this is all feels very structured and formal to me. And I'm just not, I don't know. I'm over it.
It sounds like it takes the fun out of the whole excitement of
It does. Because there's something organic when you meet somebody. Yeah, there's something organic when you meet somebody randomly out amongst friends, which granted is harder to do right now in Singapore because you can't have more than people of 5 out. And then of course, by 10:30, everybody's got to go home. And that's when people get drunk enough so everybody can start making mistakes. It's around 10:30. So you're getting less mistakes being made when it comes to finding a significant other. And a lot of the women that I've been in amazing relationships with have come from those mistakes made past 10:30. So
wait, whose mistake? Their mistake or your mistake?
Everybody's mistakes. So many mistakes, Alan.
Mistake.
An orgy of mistakes.
Just oh my God, you did not just say that. You did not just. We're not at that point of this podcast yet, Justin, but we will get there soon. Okay. Next question. I want to get there as quick as possible, but this is probably my favorite question. And I came up with it myself. Here we go, Hanli. Friend zone. How do we stay out of it from the beginning? And once we're in it, how do we get out? Big question.
Okay, obviously all these are very situational, right? maybe you start as friends and then you've developed feelings and then you're like, oh, well, frick, now what do I do? I really love her and I can't find the words and I'm suddenly in the friend zone, but I actually just wanted to be a friend. That happens all the time. So that's one situation. Or a situation where the guy's like, ooh, she's cute. Let me hit on her. Okay, we're talking. It's going well. It's going well. Oh, she just wants to be friends. And then they get put in the friend zone, but their intention was there. I think in order to just not be in the friend zone, you need to, at the beginning, be clear that that's not something you want. So if the girl says, hey, I know I really like you, but can we just be friends? Say no. Just say no.
That's an easy case scenario. Like, for sure, I think most guys will understand that when a girl says, can we just be friends, that y'all just got friend zoned. But it's not always that obvious, right? Like, maybe a guy tries to flirt a little bit and he can't even tell if she's flirting back. Like, can you actually say, just so you know, ma'am, I would like not to be in the friend zone. Can you keep me in that side?
Yeah, you can say it.
Can you say that?
I actually think, like, you know, when it comes to getting what you want, when it comes to your heart, you should be bold and brave and say exactly what you want at times. Yeah, it's uncomfortable and, you know, it might be new and foreign, but at the end of the day, like, you owe it to yourself to get the person that you want. So why sit in the friend zone? Be clear.
But that wouldn't turn you off? That wouldn't turn you off? Like,
No. And also, you know, if you come to me with vulnerability and honesty and that turns me off, then that person, that's not your girl.
Truth. Preach, woman.
Mm-hmm.
Justin, I see the wolves. Have you ever been in the friend zone, Justin?
Have I been in the friend zone?
Have you ever been in the friend zone?
Yeah, of course I've been in the friend zone. I mean, huh?
Unwillingly.
Unwillingly in the friend zone. Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for sure. No, for sure. I think, but I don't know. So I guess the way I've always approached kind of usually dating women, and this is another reason why I'm finding this dating app structure of dating so odd, is because it's like you're both there obviously looking for dating. Whereas normally when I've met women and we started dating, it was always under this friend kind of vibe anyway to begin with. And so, and then something would just happen. And I guess I have a very passive approach when it comes to dating women or trying to find women to date. I generally hang out with women and on occasion, and I wait for them to kind of give me the first kind of move or clue or sign, and then I'm like, okay, I see what's happening here. I feel like I've historically been pretty good at reading that, and therefore I haven't really made the mistake too many times where I've gone in and it wasn't kind of what they had in mind already. And so I generally don't go, I want to date her, let's do this. How do I make this happen? It's been more passive, I think. And maybe because of that, I've lost out on probably maybe dating some really, really great people. But I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
No, I hear you. I think what I'm taking from what you said, and also I agree with it, is that if any guy is in the friend zone and didn't realize that it was going there, and they got there by accident, and they just kind of like, whoa, wait a minute, I was really interested in her, and all of a sudden I'm a friend. They probably weren't paying attention too much during the process of becoming friends or getting to know that person, because there are signs usually that, you know, I don't know.
Now, granted, obviously, like if you're meeting somebody for the first time and you're out at a bar, it's just kind of like, okay, yeah, I think that's very easy to be like, this could be a dating scenario, and you can push that a little bit, and right, and that seems to be okay. Like you don't have to have the talk. I'd be like, I see you more than a friend. I think you can kind of be like, you know, have a couple drinks and you can see if that vibe, especially when it's the first time you met each other. It becomes very clear, very fast.
Also, deep, extensive eye contact is a pretty easy way to make your motive known.
Yeah, I feel like you can tell.
But like, that's what I'm saying. Maybe someone wasn't paying attention. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one.
Yeah, but I know that guys out there are concerned about it sometimes.
But I do stick with what I'm saying, that when it comes to what you want and people that you have a crush on or that you like just go for it. Go for it.
Yes.
You know?
Maybe I'll try.
You never know. You honestly never know. And don't settle for what you don't want. Like if you want a relationship and she put you in a friend zone, don't settle for that. Like,
yeah, that's a good point.
Yourself.
What if you've been friends with them for a long time though, and then you decide to do that?
Right, that's the other situation.
That can become a problem.
Wait, you've been friends with them for a long time and then you want to take it to a relationship?
And then you just say,
so this is getting out of the friend zone.
Oh yeah, no, again, honesty, clarity. Be like, hey, I know we've been friends for ages, but I've developed feelings for you.
A part of me is like, just take that and just stick it way down there and go find another girl. Because I feel like you're running the risk of making stuff awkward with your friend, and it could be, I'm not sure. You'd probably be fine after a while, but there'd be,
Here's a fact. The moment you have a crush on your friend, they're not your friend, they're your crush.
Yeah, but you can't. Men are very fluid.
Ooh,
we can have a crush 5 times a day. So like, you just move on. Just don't get caught up.
Okay, so this is a great point, Hanli. So you said that as soon as you have a crush on your friend, it's no longer your friend, that's your crush. Is that true if you're sexually attracted to your friend?
Well, that's different because
okay, go ahead.
Because a crush means that I like your personality, I like your mind, I like your heart, and I'm also sexually attracted to you. Sexual attraction to you is like, ooh, you fine. I mean, the other parts are okay, but you fine. And that's different. That's like, and also that's like people's ability to draw lines and have casual encounters with their friends. And that's a whole world. But if we're going on the base level of it, then I personally feel like, you know, if you actually have a crush on your friend, she's not like, they're not your friend anymore. They become someone that you have a crush on. And we all know crushes make you crazy. Like, it's very hard to stay cool when your crush is in the room.
Yeah, I feel that. I'm a little still unsure about the difference between crush and sexual
it's
attraction.
totally separate.
Well, I know it's separate, but also what's the difference then between crush and friendship? Because what Hanli said is crush is something where you like the person, you think they're funny, you're interested in them, you care about them. To me, if they're already my friends, then I already care about them in all of those ways. The only difference is I'm not.
But a crush, you want to have sex with that person.
Yeah, you want to kiss passionately and cuddle with after.
You want to have their babies.
Oh, is a crush like you want to?
Well, I mean, not necessarily,
forever,
but I mean, you know what I mean. Like it's.
I know what you mean. Depends on how old you
want to start
are.
You're into that person in a very emotional and physical way. I think that's between the emotions you feel for your friend and the emotions you feel as somebody that you would want to. Can we also just talk
about how aggressive the term crush is?
It's pretty.
Yeah.
Right? I am crushing on you. I am crushing on you right now.
Dawned on me. Damn.
It's pretty aggressive. I wonder where that one came from. Moving on to the next question. Okay, this one is actually really quick, and I just wanted to know, why is the expectation for the toilet seat to be left down when the expectation could be for the toilet seat to be left open or left up?
Because we give birth.
Done. All right, moving on to the next question. That's fair. Cannot argue with that. Time to get into the sex questions. All right, here we go. Hanli, I want to preface this section of our questionnaire to say, and I mean this honestly, if there's anything that you're uncomfortable with, like you don't have to answer it. And also,
have you listened to her podcast, Alan?
Yeah, I know, but I just feel the need to say it, Justin. I felt very uncomfortable during parts of her podcast.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. Come on, bring it on.
All right, how common is it for women to fake an orgasm?
Disappointingly common. Ladies,
really?
Stop it. Stop it. Honestly, stop for yourself. Stop for the guy. He's not going to learn from that. And stop for the rest of women.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
The guy's not going to learn.
You're not training us right.
Unless you can tell.
You can tell.
Well, see, this is now I'm concerned. You said surprisingly a lot of women fake orgasms. So now I'm wondering, is it that I'm really good or I'm really bad at being able to tell what's fake?
So
both.
Yeah, I mean, she
You
can
know
be
what?
really good. So, okay, sometimes, I've had this discussion with my girlfriends, and I was like, "Do you guys fake it? And if you do, why?" Sometimes they just want to get it over with. Like, I'm not really feeling it. I'm tired, and it's kind of like I'm not gonna get there. So, done. Bye.
But would that be in a situation where would that be in a situation where they're in a relationship, and maybe, more often than not, they don't have to fake it?
Yeah, I think if you're in a relationship and you're faking an orgasm, you're in a bad relationship.
Ooh.
But what if that same situation that you just mentioned is happening, or you're just fucking tired in that day? Long day at work.
Yeah, you don't have to fake it. You can just be like,
fair enough.
Yeah. So, but does that mean that sex can be satisfying for women if they don't reach climax?
Yeah. Women's orgasms it's not like a dude where like, you have one final, wow. Like women have like a whole like terrain of mountains and peaks and summits, and it's not just one.
Okay, no one's asking you to brag here. Okay, it's not a competition on this.
That sounds way
Jesus,
more fun.
next question. Next question, making me mad now.
I want mountains and peaks, Alan, and valleys.
I want valleys.
Where's my valleys?
And where are my ranges?
We just have one pyroclastic flow.
Yeah.
Mount St. Helens, south side of the mountain explodes into Oregon explosion. That's what we get.
Ours is like sprinting to the edge of a cliff, tripping before you get there and falling off. Women get to go up and down mountains? Jesus Christ.
Oh, that was
All
great.
right, here we go, Hanli. Because you already brought it up and now I want to go into it. Obviously, women do talk to each other about their sexual experiences and encounters. How detailed do you guys get? And what do our girlfriends' friends know about us?
Everything.
No, really?
Everything. That weird birthmark you have on your left, we know about it. Like, we know everything. Especially, okay, here's the thing. At the beginning, okay, if it's just like a one night stand, we literally know everything. But if the girl really
because there's not that much to know.
And like, who is he to you? You don't care. You'll tell us. That's that. But if it's like relationships, if it's marriages, if it's long-term, we actually know less. And that's from my experience with what I see with my girlfriends and everything. Some girls and guys are just more open about their long-term partners, and that's that.
That's true.
But yeah, I think the general range is the less the girl knows about the guy, the easier it is for her to share with her girlfriends everything. And the more deeper they go, the more closed that becomes.
So the more emotional an experience it is, maybe the less they want to share. Would that make sense? Or
yes.
Okay. Then let's bring it to a point. Literally, do you guys talk about penis sizes with your girlfriends?
Obviously.
Yes.
How do you even approach size? Like, how do you even explain it to someone? Like, you don't have a measuring tape or a ruler there. Like, what?
We look at objects in the room and we bring them to the table. We talk about ball size. We talk about color sometimes. Definitely, like 100.
Oh man.
Noise, everything.
I don't talk about color.
Too much.
You guys talk about everything. I expected some. Okay. Well, now we know, gentlemen. If you're listening, everything.
I feel like men definitely go over things in less detail.
Oh,
yeah, I don't go into detail at all.
Was it good? Yeah, bro, it was good. Cool, man. Cool.
Yeah, nice. Way to get it done.
Sweet.
Good job. Want to watch the game?
Let's go.
It's amazing. We'll talk about it over dinner as well. We'll be like eating food, hearing details. Like, wow, yes.
Wow, that is crazy.
Yeah, but I also feel like, especially when you're younger, you know every detail. But also as you get older, I think like your attitude around it gets a bit more casual and it changes. But yeah.
So I would venture to guess then that the idea that men think about sex more than women is wrong. Would you agree that is incorrect?
Completely wrong.
Yeah. Would you say women think more about sex than men do?
No.
No one thinks about sex more than men do.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, moving on to sexual performance. Because this was a very interesting topic when we talked about it on your podcast. And so I'll start off with a question I read online specifically, and we'll go down this branch. But the guy was asking, if a man cannot finish, does the woman take personal offense or feel as though she is responsible for that?
Yeah, this was an interesting one. We talked about it on the podcast. We did. I've talked about it with my girlfriends. And so yes and no, right? Yes and no. I think when you're younger and it happens for both genders, when something like this happens in the bedroom, while you are on that journey of learning about yourself sexually, that can definitely be something that you just like, don't, what? Is it me? But as you get older and you have more experiences and you are open to conversations like this one, you learn that it's not, to not take it personally. And that these things sometimes happen. But definitely at a younger point and an earlier start in your sexual journey, it would be something that leaves a big question mark the following days.
Okay, funny spin-off question. Would you rather a man come too soon or not come at all?
Ooh.
It's a tough one, right? It's a tough one.
Okay, how soon are we talking?
I mean, isn't there a song about like a 1 minute man? Isn't there? I don't want no 1 minute man. Isn't that, so let's say a minute. Let's go. That's short. That's okay. No, let's go 5 minutes. Let's go 5 minutes. 5 minutes is a fair. It's not on the extreme. It's. I think.
How long is the foreplay?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, equal amount of foreplay for both. I don't know.
I think in general, oh God, this is a hard one. I think too soon. Too soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise it becomes a freaking carnival affair.
Yeah.
I've got a question.
Yeah, I
First
can
of all,
tell.
Alan, can you center yourself in the square?
No.
Because you're.
No, I want to sit here.
I want to sit right here. Something so that you're in the middle of the screen.
I want to sit. Justin,
so people are watching this going,
here.
Why is Alan way off to the side?
Nobody's watching this. Okay.
How many times, Hanli, have you kind of had to either end either a relationship or a sexual relationship with somebody because the sex was not going well?
Great question. I want to know.
Like it was just like, we'll give him another chance. And then you got to like the 6th time and you're like, this just isn't going to work out. Nice guy, but this is a problem.
Yeah. No, yeah, and it would be. Well, I mean, I think it's a personal choice. Some people don't prioritize sex in the relationship as having to be great. And if everything else is amazing, there's always compromises. And, that's part of being together as a couple. You figure each other out as a partnership. So that's that. So, but I feel like, at the beginning of any relationship, when you are getting intimate with each other, it is quite important to be able to have sort of a natural chemistry, even in the bedroom. So I would never end a relationship over those reasons because for me to kind of get to a point with the relationship, it would already have to be natural and good. As in, like, if I don't vibe with you in the bedroom, we probably are not going to be able to take it to the next level.
Get to that point anyway.
Yeah.
So that would derail the potential of the relationship actually going into something.
I think for me, a little bit. Yeah.
It's an interesting question.
Yeah. What about you guys?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough because I kind of agree that if you're already emotionally invested in someone and you're already like digging them and vibing, you really like them, like the sex tends to be pretty good and better than when you're having sex with someone that you're not that into, right? And you're not that, and maybe it's either it's a one-night stand or whether it's someone that you're just kind of physical friends and you don't really care or have deeper emotions. I think I've had sex that maybe was objectively better with someone that I didn't know as well, but I didn't enjoy it as much. You know what I mean? Mm. Like for me, it's all about feeling like super comfortable. And if I don't feel super comfortable, the sex is never good for me. Or maybe I just don't give good sex. I don't know. I have to be comfortable. Justin, do you have to be comfortable to have good sex?
I mean, I think it depends what we mean by comfortable. I think there's different
This is like
kinds
a pillow and blanket, and I'm kidding.
There's different kinds of good sex. There's the good sex that's kind of crazy and chaotic and out of control with maybe it's maybe with somebody who you don't necessarily have an emotional attachment to, that can happen. Then there's the amazing sex that occur when it's somebody that you really care about and there's this passionate moment and it's just like, you know, the world's kind of spinning around you kind of sex. Like, so I think for me, those would be the two different kinds that both can be good. And obviously one is with somebody that maybe, you know, it's not going to turn into anything serious. And the other one is, you know, there's something magical happening here. Right.
Yeah.
But would you end a relationship because the sex is not good?
I don't think the relationship would ever really happen because of, much in the same way that you kind of said it. Like, I think it would kind of derail that moment of development. So that would be kind of like if, you know, it happens a couple times, you're kind of like, yeah, I think it's time to friend zone. Just get like cool person, like hanging out with them. But I don't know, for me, in that moment where you're in that that kind of hot and heavy beginning of these relationships, the sex is kind of important for the development of where that relationship's kind of going, and to have that connection at least at one point when you're looking at things from this macro perspective of a long-term relationship. Not that I'm an expert on long-term relationships, but I feel like having that moment where you had that there creates a different energy between you people as you kind of go along down that road.
Yeah, I hear you.
I completely agree. It is important. Yeah.
JB, you would have thought that you knew my questions because you're segueing perfectly into my next questions.
It's just, I'm in your head.
Get out of my head. Speaking about different types of sex. Here we go. Obviously the questions to both of you guys. Making love, having sex, and fucking. Are they all different? Do they all have places in the bedroom? Are some preferred more than others? What kind of pie chart breakdown would an ideal sexual lifestyle be? There we go. You guys know what I mean.
Oh my God, great question. Wow, really had to take a minute to categorize the three.
Yeah, because they're different, right? And I personally think all three have a place in the bedroom and that they are different. But some people might be like, no, those are all the exact same thing.
Yeah, some people would think that.
Yeah. Some people only make love.
Wow. Who are these people?
Love me.
people that don't entirely understand what the meaning of that word probably is.
Okay. So I think to break it down, right? Making love is deeply emotional. It's when you can also feel it in your heart and you're very much connected, and it's not about the final moment. It's about enjoying the whole moment and enjoying each other. That's making love. Having sex is also a form of connection, but it's not necessarily like passionate. It could just be something that got to a point where it's a little comfortable even, I think, maybe. And fucking is like, I don't even know if I like you, but you know, we're here for the same job. And
put in the work, girl.
This is a functional transaction.
It's also a little like.
But Hanli, that raises a question though. So you said, like, fucking can be like, I don't even know you, but let's do.
I mean, it could be with a stranger. You know,
but can it be? It can be with a husband or a boyfriend as well, right?
Sorry. Let me add to that. Like, that's one situation. Sometimes, like, you know, fucking is just part of the animalistic side of being human. You know, we are animals, and I think that's one of it. So those are the three categories. What was your second part of the question?
Oh, I was just saying, do they all have a place in the bedroom? Are they all important in like a, you know, a healthy sex life?
Yes.
They are all important. So you think a healthy relationship has components of all that?
Yeah, I think elements of that for sure.
Yeah. Justin, what do you think?
I mean, for me, this is just one of those things where everybody's got their different definitions of these words. And so it, you know, I think I totally agree with Hanli on, I think the way that you define it is probably the most normal and most sensible ways to define those three terms. But you know, not everybody does. They use them interchangeably, however they feel. If it's with their girlfriend, they're always going to say they made love. If it's with somebody else, that maybe isn't their girlfriend, they'd probably always just say fucking or sex. I mean, the way you put it is much more nuanced and probably the way they should be defined. But unfortunately, in this day and age, the way things should be defined are not necessarily the ways they are defined, which always causes a lot of arguments and issues in general in life. Word definition's a problem.
Definitions in general are an issue right now.
You
all right.
Alan?
Me? Sorry. Oh, I think that all three are awesome, and that all three have an important place in a healthy sex life. I will say that I may gravitate to one or two of them more than the other, but that doesn't mean that I don't appreciate or understand and love all three.
Yeah.
There we go. Good enough. Moving on. Sex toys. If your boyfriend has a sex toy, is that an issue?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
If your boyfriend has a sex toy and doesn't tell you about it, is that an issue?
It will depend how I find out.
What do you...
Let me paint a scenario for you.
Yeah, go Justin.
You walk into the living room, there he is with a sex toy up his ass. Up his ass.
That's a great point. What
candles,
sex toy?
Candles are lit.
Why is it up his ass?
We're just going over a possible scenario.
It's realistic.
Candles are lit, and to make it even creepier,
one glass of wine.
It's a picture of you.
Oh.
With the candles next to it.
I didn't think you'd go there, but I'm glad you did.
Discuss.
I'd really need a minute.
Okay, but I think what JB brings up is a really important point. When I said sex toy, I specifically thought frontal region sex toy. But JB started talking about other region sex toys, which is totally a thing for all different types of sexual preferences.
I mean, listen, at the end, okay, first of all, if I walked into that situation, I would be really I would need a minute to find my grounding after that. I think we both would. Yeah. But if it was my partner and I care about him, I would then be able to sit down and talk to him about it and be like, okay, well,
listen,
that's your
honey.
Listen, babe. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. At least it was a photo to me, you know. Yeah. If it was a photo to somebody else, we'd have a problem, a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on how big the sex toy was.
So that too, that would also be worth exploring.
Is there a place in the bedroom for teamwork involving sex toys?
Teamwork, as in...
I don't mean like big football teams. I mean,
yeah,
between the two people. So, I mean collaboration. Yes. No, not like lineups. Yeah, well,
who's calling the plays today?
Gross. No, I mean consensual between two adults.
100%. 100%.
Yeah,
I think sex toys, you know, we're moving away from sex toys having a weird stigma attached to them of them being dirty. I don't think there's anything wrong with couples, individuals using them. You know, individual sexual health is not only really good for your health, but it's just good. So I don't think there should be a shame to using sex toys in any situation. If that's what you want to do it.
No.
At what point in the sexual relationship do you think is the most appropriate time to whip out the sex toys?
Oh, anytime.
Anytime.
Not anytime.
So I've never used one.
What?
Wait, never on yourself or on a partner?
Yeah, no, it's never come up.
Well, I'm excited for you to explore that world. It's
I don't know. I've always attributed it because my relationships don't last that long. So it never gets to the point to where we feel like, oh, we need to do something different. Because my longest relationship's just a year, and maybe we should have. Maybe one of the reasons that ended was because we didn't go down that path. I don't know.
That's it. That's it.
Is that the reason?
That's it. You ended because you didn't buy her a dildo.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, there's definitely more reasons than that, but yeah. Well, I'd actually prefer it to be that. Let's go with that, Hanli.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't kid yourself. She had her own dildo. You just didn't know.
Oh, probably. Most likely.
Yeah, for sure. Do women watch porn?
Yes.
Do you think women and men watch the same kind of porn? Or do you think we like different types of porn?
Different types of porn for sure. I mean, in a general sense, again, I'm not speaking for the individual. I think women would, there's female porn as well.
Yeah.
I mean, women want like sensual, erotic feeling, generally. I mean, this is what I gauge from conversations with my girlfriends. A lot of women also like erotic literature over porn.
Yeah.
Do you guys know that? Yeah. So it's maybe
some
because
women,
we're not, well, we are visual creatures. I think women are like beyond visual, you know, we're creative, we're imaginative. And so, yeah, I think both genders have the same sexual appetite. It's just society that's made us feel like the other's more or less than the other.
Mm-hmm. That's so funny. Justin, Hanli was saying that women can be sexually creative, right? And sexually, you know, inspired and more than just visual. And I'm like, yeah, that's different. Us men, we just put in hard work. We just get to work, put in the work. That's all. All right. I have plenty more questions here. We can diverge from the sex talks for now, but we can always go back to. I thought this question I read online was hilarious. And Hanli, I want to know what you think about it. This guy said, after thousands of years, why haven't you ladies realized that we don't pick up on subtle hints?
Yeah.
I think that's a problem for that guy, I think.
No.
That's a problem for a lot of guys, Justin, including myself. I can be pretty dull sometimes.
Why don't guys pick up on subtle hints?
Because we just kind of want to be told what it is. So.
No, I actually think that's it. I think that's it. And I think that, I mean, I'm just learning this as well. Like, you guys really just want the black and white and let it be known. And I think this is just going to be a man versus woman thing, maybe forever.
Yeah. I don't think it's right or wrong, which different ways of processing stuff, right?
Yeah, I think men are more comfortable with that for sure. At the same time, I don't know. I feel like guys should, I guess it depends on kind of your experiences and everything, whether or not you can pick up on the more subtle hints and everything. So I guess, it just depends. In general, though, guys require that.
Justin has an issue with this question because of the underlying assumption that possibly men are too not aware enough to pick up on subtle hints. And he wants to point out that he does pick up on the subtle hints.
I mean, not all the time, obviously. Again, if I did, I'd probably have longer relationships. So, but I'm just saying there's a lot of subtle hints that I think guys do pick up on.
I have to do that too. Also, wait, here's a great point, Hanli. And I haven't said this in a long time, but I bet Justin agrees. Also, sometimes we decide not to pick up on subtle hints that we don't want to pick up on. Like, it's really easy for us to be like, oh, I didn't even know it's a thing. I didn't even know.
This is the thing. This is what I was going to say. This is why my eyes were giving my deep thought direction. Because I actually don't think guys don't pick up on subtle hints. All my guy friends, like, you guys know what's up. You're all very intuitive. And I mean, it's also part of your humanness, right? Like to know and read rooms and have EQ and all that. I think the difference is that guys are not expected to follow up on that. And that's just something that maybe we've created a culture around, you know?
Yeah, they say women have intuition, right? But that kind of frees men to not have to pay attention to intuition or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. Like they know, but then the next step to, do I do something? Should I, it's not there, but they know.
A lot of guys play dumb. A lot of guys play dumber than they are. Yeah.
A lot of guys are also just dumb.
Yeah, a lot of guys are really dumb. A lot of
I didn't want to say it. Y'all nailed it. Yeah.
All right, Hanli, age difference. How much is too much?
I don't know. It's a personal one. It's hard, right?
It's hard. And I don't know. I wonder the difference in maybe a female perspective from a male perspective. I will say that I have been in a relationship where I was considerably older, about 9 years. And at times I did feel uncomfortable with it, but it wasn't such a big deal as big a deal as I thought it would be.
Yeah. Where I stand on a personal view when it comes to couplings and whether, whatever the differences is that as long as both parties are consensual and like of the legal age, then I don't think should be any problem with people doing what they want with their heart. sure,
so there
like,
is no too much then.
I mean, sure. I mean, on the outside, it can seem, but if two people connect on the inside, then what does the outside matter? You know?
Yeah, I agree. Well said. Hanli can just seal up the questions with one answer. We can move on. Here's one. The statement, happy wife, happy life. Discuss between the two of you.
Absolutely true. I tell this to my dad at least twice a year. Father, happy wife, happy life. Happy wife, happy children, just everything works. Just keep the woman happy. It's true. I really think so. I mean, it doesn't mean that miserable husband doesn't matter. Let's just get on with it. Like, happy husband also too.
But then how come that's not a saying? How come no one ever says happy husband, happy life?
Because
it doesn't rhyme?
That is true. That is true.
But I think it's probably, I feel like that was probably a phrase that was probably created by men in like the 40s.
Yeah, it was called "Keep Me Happy." They said it differently.
Because it seems to me like a phrase that was created a ways back in a time where women were staying at home, taking care of the kids. The men went out to work, come back. Is she happy? Okay, then you're gonna be fine. Because as long as she's happy when you're home, then everything's gonna be fine when you go back to work and get out of the house again, and then you come back. So I think that's kind of where that phrase stems from: happy wife, happy life. Whereas now I think it's obviously has this larger context.
Well, I don't think that. I mean, I think it still deeply applies. I think at the end of it, like what women want, and I think what we need more of in households is just like deep acknowledgement and appreciation of the ways that they hold a household together. There's this thing called like the mental load that a woman takes on in a household, right? And actually Marissa was the one who told me about this. And the mental load is that a woman in a household is, you know, taking care of herself. She's taking care of the household. And every day on her mind, she's thinking about the future. She's making decisions. She's always preparing for something. Before she goes to bed, she's writing lists of what needs to be done. And that takes up so much of her mental load. And that's happening behind our, like in our own mind. And I think happy wife, happy life is about acknowledging the amount of thought and energy and effort that women are constantly putting towards their families and their households. And I think that's it now. It's not even like, just keep her happy, acknowledge her.
So it's really, you think it's more of an understanding from the man that the woman thinks about life in terms that you probably don't necessarily all the time. Because women do think different than men. Because women are more complex than men, in my opinion. Men are pretty simple, really. I think for the most part, there's less, I feel like men seem to have less distractions, kind of getting them off balance than women do.
Yeah. Single track mind, I think, is the way that I look at it. And I don't mean it in a bad way. It's blinders. Yeah. Like, and
tunnel vision, baby.
But it's not even that I put the blinders on purpose, because I can't see. That stuff doesn't exist. My peripheries don't exist. Like I can't focus on more than one thing at a time.
Which leads me to this.
Pinky point.
No. The question that just derails every man's tunnel vision. Just like he thinks everything's fine. He's just sitting there literally staring at a tree and maybe thinking about, that's a big tree. I wonder how long that tree's been there. What kind of tree is that? And then all of a sudden they hear from across the table, what are you thinking about?
Yeah.
And it's literally like,
the tree.
Like, you're on your heels. You're like, wait, I was literally thinking about a tree.
Oh my God.
If I say I'm thinking about a tree, do I sound like an insensitive asshole? And it's like, you, sweetie, like, or like, what do you, so first of all, 2-part question.
Great.
Why do you women have to do that when we're thinking about trees or cookies or like, literally sometimes nothing? Like literally, I'm so capable of thinking about nothing. And then what do you expect us to say?
Yeah, I think it's because, oh my God, I do this to my boyfriend all the time.
You're a horrible person.
Hey,
apologize. Text him now and apologize.
Apologize to that man.
What are you thinking? What's on your mind? I think the idea that you guys can honestly not have anything on your mind just baffles us. because we don't. Very few of us have this ability. So when we see you just kind of like staring into blank space, we're instantly being like, oh my God, if that was me staring into blank space, it's because there's a whole Broadway show happening in my mind right now. And I'm just like, thinking about it.
Questioning our relationship.
That's so crazy. But it is true, Hanli, and I know you believe us, but like we literally cannot think for extended periods of time, and it feels great. When I found out what meditation was, I was like, oh, that's what I do anyway. I was like, that's how I relax. I'm gonna do more of it.
This has been good for me.
This has been good for me the whole time. I'm so evolved.
At what point is his response insufficient? Like when you've said this to a guy, has he ever responded in such a way where you were like, fuck you? And what was that response, and why did you feel that way?
It's never, I've never had the fuck you reaction, but I've definitely been like, more? Is that it? And then there's follow-up questions, and then it becomes a conversation about our feelings.
Oh,
wow. Jeez.
Y'all have been there.
Boyfriend.
So really, is that a way for you just to actually discuss feelings because you feel like that's what you want to do?
Nah. I mean, I said that as a rounded term. No, I mean, I think it just goes back to when a guy is staring into space, thinking about nothing. That whole idea is so foreign to a lot of women because we're always thinking that when we see that, we're like, something must be wrong. Because if we do that, it's because something is normally off.
Noted.
That is what's weird. And I think we all understand this, but we all forget it. For women, silence is bad. For men, silence is good. Like if a woman is silent and you're sitting there at dinner and she's just looking at you, tapping her wine glass, like she's mad. If a man is just sitting across from you at dinner staring at you, silently tapping his wine glass, he's so happy. He's just like perfectly happy.
So, wow. And then, just so Hanli, that you know this and that all women know this, the worst time to ask that question for a man is after sex.
Oh yeah.
Because you want to talk about a moment in time where a man is not thinking about anything. It is that time. And yet that is the time that most women feel is the most appropriate to ask that question.
Yeah, you nailed it. I'm taking that as a lesson because you're right. You're right.
Because guess what men are thinking about? I got to the point where sometimes it's just like, Justin, you're going to start just being honest in this scenario. And I remember this happened several years ago. And the sex had happened, love, whatever it may be. And literally, I was thinking, we had sex, I'm just staring up at the ceiling. I was like, when was the last time you ate today? You just expended a large amount of energy. Yeah, you're really hungry. You plan on working on the morning. Do we still have cookies? Well, what kind of cookie? Oh, I think we have chocolate chip cookies. So what are you thinking about? I'm thinking about cookies. I said, I'm thinking about cookies.
Oh yeah.
Silence, turned over. I was like, did you want a cookie? I'm gonna go get some. No answer.
Oh boy, that's hilarious.
Didn't discuss that for the rest of the evening. I got to go to sleep after the cookies. So really.
Wow.
This is great. I'm just going to leave it at that and move on to another question. We're just going to go through a couple of quick ones. Oh, Hanli, is it important for a man's hygiene to match your hygiene? Or can it be slightly under? Does your man need to shower every single day?
Yes. Of course your hygiene needs to match my hygiene. 100%. That is a standard in any relationship. 100%.
Oh, I thought you were going with like shaving your pubes and stuff.
Oh no, I wasn't going with that. I'm just talking about like
just hygiene
showering, actually.
I mean, I feel like basic hygiene.
Oh my God. Yes. Be clean.
Every day? What if he doesn't shower one day?
It's a humid. We're in Southeast Asia. Oh, you're in Northern
No.
California.
I'm not.
No, if you skip
Not
the day of
everybody-
shower, do
Not
come
everybody
back.
showers every day.
What, like,
If you have
Europeans
opportunity to
20 years
shower
ago?
every day, shower every day.
Okay, fair enough. All right, moving
Wait, Alan,
on
do you not shower
to-
every day?
Yeah,
I
wait,
shower
why are you
most
so
days.
casual about this?
But
When
when
I'm
do
in
you not
Singapore, I
shower?
shower twice a day. We know if you're up like at a cabin where like the water you use is like 10 times more expensive and you don't have a lot of resources and you're camping or something or you're roughing it up, you don't have time to shower. Like
Okay.
it costs more money to shower then than to drive back like 4 hours to where your house is and shower the next day.
Fair enough.
Fair.
That is literally the only point I could think of to make myself not seem crazy right now. Okay, this is actually a very interesting one for me. And this is the last question I actually have. I cannot believe we've made it through most of them. This one's about fighting, not between you and your man, but if you are disrespected, is it a good thing or a bad thing for your guy to get in someone's face?
Oh, this is good.
This question comes from my roommate, Jason, by the way.
Shout out to Jason. Good question.
Yep.
Thank you.
It's a great question.
So if someone disrespects me, is it okay for my man to get involved?
Yeah, well, let's start with this first. Actually, that's a great point. To start off with I'm assuming that just random fighting is unattractive. Right? Just random, oh, Hanli's like, wait a minute, not necessarily is fighting attractive.
Go on.
No, you know what? Just answer. Go ahead. You were
Okay.
already on your way.
Yeah. Okay. So situationally, right? I think that if the guy, I mean, it's always nice to feel like your partner wants to protect you. So that's number one, right? So if they express it, then that's always like, oh, you got my back. That's cool. If it was a male, if we were in public and a man disrespected me, whilst I completely have my own confidence to stand up for myself, it is always comfortable to know that my man will and want to step in, because that's just like a in the wild instinctual nature. You want your man to step in and protect you against another male, 100%. If it was a woman, that would be different, because I think that there are some lines and some gray areas around that, also depending on the situation, right? So yeah, I think in public situations, that's it. In private situations, I think that I'm capable of standing up for myself, but I would still want them to express that they want to support me and ask, can I, or just be in my corner, no matter what.
So do you not want them to fight then? You just want them to make the gesture to fight? Is it too far to go and punch that effer in the face?
I mean, sometimes it depends.
It depends on what was said, right?
If someone disrespected me and my man went up and punched them, I'm not going to be mad at my man.
Okay. What if he didn't say anything to you and he just looked at you wrong and the guy and your boyfriend went up and punched him?
Oh, then that's straight up crazy, and I also want that.
So I think what we're realizing here is that there's a lot of thin lines in this area. Like, it's just very...
Yeah. But overall, I would imagine that women want to feel like their man can and is willing to protect them under these types of scenarios, for sure.
100%.
Yeah. Is it attractive? So this is different, Hanli. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Not just feeling safe, but is it attractive?
Yes, for sure. You want your man you want to feel like your man can protect you. I mean, you know, we are in a modern society, but at the end of it, that's kind of the basis of our mating and our partnerships, right? You want to have a protector.
This is why it's okay to get thrown out of bars and clubs all the time, Alan.
Yeah, I get it. I'm going to follow your lead more often. I promise, when bars and clubs are open again. A couple of personal questions. Are beards sexually attractive?
Yes.
Damn it. Okay. Is money sexually attractive?
Is what?
Money sexually attractive. Not for stability, but sexually.
No.
Yes. All right. 1 for 1. Not too bad. We're good to go. That's all I got.
Isn't it though sometimes?
Oh, I knew you were going to say something.
But like, isn't it though a little like knowing that so this is why I go this direction, because I don't think it's directly the money. I think it's a man that's able to take care of himself enough to where he's got a decent amount of money. It's reflective of his kind of mentality on life, that he's motivated, driven, he's got goals, he's making shit happen. These are all things that I think are attractive to the opposite sex. So I think in that sense, most men that, not all, I mean, not a trust fund kid or what have you, but most men that have managed to make a decent money have a lot of these qualities. So with that being thought of, I think it is attractive.
Well, wealth can be a sign, right?
Yeah.
Hanli, wealth can be a sign of many attractive qualities that helped build that.
Right.
But you asked sexually attractive, and no.
Yeah, that's a thing also, Justin. I asked sexually attractive.
Okay,
like,
sexually.
Does it sexually, physically turn a woman on if a guy is wealthy?
Yeah, but I don't know. I know you're the woman expert and not me. But
oh, really, Justin? Really?
I feel
Do
like
you know that?
sometimes.
Do you really believe that, Justin?
I don't know.
I don't know. You know what?
That's a blurry
Everyone's
line.
different. It is a blurry line. Some people are driven for different reasons. And, you know, personal answer, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, Hanli, like, it's difficult for us to ask you to answer for an entire gender, right? So we're just asking for your best guesses and your kind of best estimations. And honestly, I think you've done an awesome job right now. Like, this is awesome.
Yay.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love this. We could totally, you know what? We could totally break down on a separate episode the wealth aspect when it comes to partnerships, because I'd also love to find out from you guys, but maybe we can follow that up on my podcast.
Yeah.
Yes. Actually,
does money actually matter in a relationship?
We're saying it now. Can we officially decide to get Marissa on here and do a podcast with all four of us? Because I was talking about, that's something I've wanted for a while.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. So next podcast or when we get a chance, let's get all four on.
Woohoo!
I'm in.
Hey, Justin, are we podcasting yet?
Yeah.
All right, Hanli, thank you so much.